Gosh, I know you're all going to be so excited about this. This is me showing you every classic I own. But don't worry, it's broken up into different videos according to different publishers as well. So today we're going to look at the black penguins, black spine penguins. Hello everybody, welcome to and welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis, with me, Mark, and I hope you're all doing very well indeed. It's November already. I'm taking part in Movember. This is why I'm looking for once fairly cleanly shaven. I have to shave here, but I have to grow out the moustache, but I don't think I'll manage it in a month. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, on to the classics, because I'm going to have to do this in a couple of different parts. So first up, and actually it's next month's read, is Notre Dame de Paris by Victor Hugo, and it's a nice cover there. Look at that. Oh dear, oh dear. Looks a bit grim, doesn't he? So that's there we go. I do like. Someone said in my previous video on the Oxford World Classics that I prefer them, and maybe I said that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I like the feel of them better, but sometimes the content of the penguins, of course, can be much better than the notes and things like that. So anyway, moving on. We have Alphonse Daudet's Letters from My Windmill, which is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to do so, full of charming stories about provincial life in 19th century France. Next up, we have Sei Shonagon's The Pillow Book, which is a classic of Japanese literature there. So yeah, pretty good. I've had that for a while. I've not read it though, not yet. I hope to at some point. Next, we have Onr de Bullx, The Black Sheep, which I wanted to get to this year, but I think it's looking rather unlikely. And that is followed by another Onr de Bullx, and it's Onr de Bullx's History of the 13. So there we have that. Okie dokie. Next up, I've got them into a couple of different piles. So we'll see how we go. Next up was a present from a subscriber, and I've not got to it yet, but I plan to, and it's Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, which I'm sure most of you know, and probably more than a few of you have read. And I think it might have been from the same subscriber, but I also received Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I read so long ago I don't really remember much about it, but I do definitely want to get to it at some point. And following that, we have a few collections of short stories. One is this one here, The Golden Age of British Short Stories, 1890 to 1914, edited by Philip Hensher, and it includes people like Kipling, Arthur Conan Doyle, George Gissing, Arthur Morrison, Israel Zangwill, May Sinclair, Mary Mann, Saki, Joseph Conrad, E.F. Benson, Rebecca West, so on and so forth. And following that, it was a gift actually from another subscriber, which is the Penguin Book of First World War Stories. And I'm trying to read one story from this every day throughout the month of November, as it's World War November, which is an event taking place looking at writing connected with the First World War. And after that, another book of short stories, which is the Penguin Book of the British Short Story, from Daniel Defoe to John Buchan. There is a volume 2, but I have to say I wasn't particularly interested in it because it got a bit too modern, perhaps for my taste. And this one includes such luminaries as, of course, Daniel Defoe, Jonathan Swift, Henry Fielding, Hannah More, Mary Lamb, James Hogg, and on, except I can't turn the pages, so it's slowing me down. Margaret Oliphant, Robert Louis Stevenson, H.G. Wells, M.R. James, J.K. Chesterton, Viola Meynell, E.M. Delafield, Dorothy Edwards, and of course John Buchan. So there we go. That looks like fun. And the final pile for this part is, what have we got here? It includes Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Pretty cool cover, that one, I think. Great classic. Thoroughly recommended if you have not yet read it. We have another Onr de Bullx, and it's Old Man Goro. I can't remember with my French there. Again, haven't got to it yet this year. Hopefully can do next year. And then we have another classic of Japanese writing, and it's the Diary of Lady Murasaki, of course known as the author of the tale of Genji. It's a very short read, but it's well worth reading. It's very, very interesting if you have an interest, of course, in ancient Japanese history. And, of course, Tale of Genji is worth reading as well. So, next up we have Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, which, of course, is the way and all about Taoism, and that kind of thing. And finally, penultimately, we have, real classic here, which is Apollonius of Rhodes. Apollonius of Rhodes' Jason and the Argonauts, which has, I think, a really cool cover if my thing will focus. It's a problem with these cameras. And lastly, for this video, we have Henry Ryder Haggard's classic She. Excuse the bare breasts there, which actually was a present from another subscriber, which of course I'm extremely grateful for. And it's an absolute classic, this, and I need to reread it. It's been so long. I probably haven't read it since I was early into double figures, shall we say, in terms of age, but that's fantastic. So there we go. So that concludes the first part of my Black Penguins. You can see there are a few more behind me. I hope you find this interesting. I kind of like going through them. You're lucky that I'm not one of these booktubers who has thousands of books. Otherwise, I could really drag this out. So it's not going to be too bad, I think. And I'm just about to go, I suppose, but I do want to take the opportunity to thank my wonderful patrons who support me through Patreon. I think we're up to 11 now, so that's really surprised me, and I'm jolly thrilled about all that. You do get a few extra benefits, mostly videos in advance, as well as short stories and other things. We did try a reading club last month. I haven't been able to get to that this month, but I will come up with other things. You also get early access to videos and content I have throughout my other channels, including the podcast Tales from the Quill and my little house in Bohemia, which is following my journey building a house here in the Czech Republic. So everybody, thanks again. Do take care, and I shall see you all soon. Bye bye.